Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to share with you a typical day in the life, and it is actually a Wednesday today, and that means that I have to do my ironing, but yesterday was my zone cleaning day and I didn't get to any of it. It was one of those days, you know? So today I'm actually going to do my zone cleaning as well, and it's now just a little after lunch. So the children are upstairs, they are having their quiet time or they're sleeping. So that means that I actually have some time by myself right now, and that makes it a lot easier to do some catch up on the cleaning. So that is what I'm gonna do. I use this time when they are upstairs, sometimes to work, sometimes to relax, sometimes to get some things done around the house. And today that is just what I'm gonna do. And then if I have some time left, which I hope I do, I also still need to make another banana bread because we love it. I have shared it a ton on this channel before, but we love banana bread. So that is actually all gone. So I need to make 2 more batches. And I'm gonna share with you our dinner tonight because I had a lot of you ask me about our dinners, what we eat in a week, what it looks like. So I'm just gonna try and share that a little more in some of these like vlog style videos. And who knows, maybe I will actually do a what we eat in a week one day. But I keep telling myself that I should do that. And somehow I just never like the footage that I take. So there's that. But today I'm actually going to share with you what we eat, and that is going to be pasta pesto. So anyway, without further ado, let's stop talking. It is 12:30, so I really need to get to cleaning. And the good thing is the zone for today or for this week is actually the living room and the hallway. So that makes it a lot easier. I can just do it right now when the children are asleep. When the children's bedrooms is the zone for the week, I obviously can do it when they are upstairs, or not, at least not when they're sleeping. So that is the beauty of doing it today, because now I can actually do it when they're upstairs. So I'm gonna try and attempt to do as much as I can. And I actually wrote it down, which my planner is right there. So what I need to do, or what I want to do, is I obviously am gonna vacuum the floors, and I need to mop. And I want to clean the windows. Now I already did the outside window on the back side of the house, but I still need to do the insides, and I need to do the windows that you see right there, which are in the kitchen. I need to dust, I need to clean the couch, or I want to clean the couch, even though I actually did that like 2 weeks ago. So that is not extremely necessary. I could do that tomorrow or the day after. And then I just want to wipe down everything. So wipe down all the chairs, wipe down all the cabinets, all the things with a wet cloth. So that is basically what I'm going to do. So let's start cleaning and let's get into all the things. Okay, so before we get started, I always like to actually clean up all the stuff that we have lying around. So there's not that much over here. There is some shoes that I need to get rid of, obviously, in order to be able to vacuum. And then there is the stuff that I need to iron, and then there's some stuff on the kitchen table, and I still need to do my dishes from lunch. So what I usually love to start with when I start cleaning is get these things out of the way. I like starting with a clean kitchen. So that is what I'm going to start with. Clean these dishes. It is not that much. It's just a few plates and things that we used, and then I'm going to start with the living room. So let's get the dishes done first. So while I'm actually cleaning the home and I'm working on making sure everything looks good, I really wanted to share something about what it means to be a good steward, because we often hear that we need to be a good steward of our home and we need to be good stewards in general, really. But what does it actually look like? And what does that mean when you are a good steward, when you have to practice it every single day? Now, the first thing I did was actually dive into the definition of being a steward. And there are obviously a couple of definitions, and well, it depends on what area of life you're looking at, basically. But one of the things that I wrote down is a steward is a person whose responsibility is to take care of something. Now, that is actually really vague, and you still don't know a lot of things. But a few things that actually came to my mind is, first off, being a good steward means that you actually take good care of something. So that means we actually need to do the best we can. It means that we are responsible for taking care of the thing that we are responsible for. And that actually brings me to one of my favorite verses again. I honestly share this verse so many times. You're probably sick of hearing it, but I just love it so much. And that is Colossians 3, verse 23. And in that verse, it says that whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. And there are so many things that I really love about this verse because, first of all, it doesn't matter what we do because it says whatever you do. So whether that means changing diapers or cleaning your kitchen or scrubbing down the toilet, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, and you do it as if you are working for the Lord. And that is actually what I wanted to focus on, the as working for the Lord, because being a good steward means that we are responsible for taking care of things, and it actually does not mean that we own the thing. So a steward is the one who looks after it, who makes sure it stays clean, it stays organized, maybe it even has to stay safe. But it doesn't mean, or it doesn't say anywhere, that you are actually the owner of the thing. It just means that you are responsible for taking care of it. And I love looking at it in that way because in Romans 11, verse 36, it says, "For from him and through him and for him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen." And that actually means that everything on this earth was created by him and for him and from him. So everything is from God. He is the one that owns all the things, and he made us stewards of his properties. I love that so much. And it actually means that he gives us all the things to enjoy. He gives us all these things so that we can have them, that we can take care of it, that we can use it. And in 1 Timothy 6, verse 17, it also says that he gives us richly all things to enjoy. So everything that we get, all the things that we have, we are allowed to enjoy it because God says that he gives us everything to enjoy. And he gave us a lot of things to enjoy them and to take care of them. And we have to keep in mind that it is actually our job to be a good steward of what is from God. Now that brings me back to Colossians 3 because there it says that whatever we do it as if we're working for the Lord. And if you look at that verse with this in mind, it actually means that, first off, you obviously do it as if you are doing it for him, but at the same time, you are, because those are his things. It is from him. He created all the things. They are all from him. Like it says in Romans, it says they are from him. So what we do, we don't only do it as if we're working for the Lord, but we actually are doing it for the Lord because they are from him. They are his things. It is his house. It is his money. It's his children. Everything that I have in my life is from him. And it's such an honor that we have been given all these things to take care of it. And like I said, it goes for all things. It goes for our husbands, our children, our home, and even our own life. Everything that we have and that we are able to do is because he has given it to us, and he is such a gracious and generous God. And I just love that so much. It gives everything that we do such a deeper meaning, I guess, in life, because we not only do it for him, but everything that we have, everything that we do, it is all from him and for him. So everything that we do can be an act of worship. When you look at it that way, we can worship God with everything that we do if we make sure that we do it the best that we can. If we really try to take care of the things that we have and to really make sure that we do it with everything that is in us, that we do it with all our heart. And that is just something that I really, really love. So with that in mind, I wanted to take a closer look of how we can actually be good stewards, and more specifically, talk about how to be a good steward of your home. Now, one of my favorite things to do in order to take good care of my home is to do something every single day. I love doing my daily habits like cleaning the dishes, vacuuming the floors, picking up clutter. Those are just things that I do every day. There are weekly habits that I do on a certain day in the week. And I actually did videos on both of these, so I will link them down below. But I love doing those things. I love having certain tasks that are just repetitive that I can just do every single day in order to make sure that everything that I have stays in good shape. For example, if you have a plate that you don't wash for, I don't know, 10 weeks, that plate looks disgusting. And if you just take care of it and if you do it every single day, it looks great. So that is the same thing with everything, in my opinion. If we just make sure that we maintain a lot of things, it can stay in a good shape for a lot longer. Now, today I actually really wanted to zoom in on zone cleaning because that is what I'm doing today. And I have really loved zone cleaning, and it's such an easy way to keep the things in the house organized and clean. And I just wanted to mention a little bit more about what it is and how you can get started with it. So zone cleaning is actually a cleaning method that was invented by Flylady, and that is obviously not her name, but I have no clue what her name is. But it is a complete system that actually takes care of your daily habits, your weekly habits, your zone cleaning habits, all the things. And I have loved using the entire system in the past, but I have actually tweaked it to create my own daily and weekly habits, and I have kept the zone cleaning. Now, cleaning in zones basically means that on top of your regular cleaning, so cleaning your dishes, for example, you also clean certain areas of the home in more detail. So when you look at an example, you do your dishes every day, you maybe keep the fridge and your countertops clean, maybe every day, or the fridge maybe weekly. But cleaning the top of the fridge doesn't happen on a daily basis or even on a weekly basis, at least not in our home. But when it's the time of the month to clean the kitchen as a zone, I actually do that in my zone cleaning tasks. So using the zone cleaning method has made my cleaning so much easier. There's just an easy list to go over and to see, okay, it is kitchen day, so I'm going to deep clean my oven, I'm going to deep clean my microwave, I'm going to clean the top of the fridge, for example. So many things that you might forget if you just do your daily tasks and you just stay on top of all the things. You don't necessarily think about deep cleaning the oven all the time. At least that's not for me. I don't think about it that often. And when the kitchen comes up in my zone cleaning system, so to speak, I think, oh, right, it is kitchen week. So I'm actually going to be deep cleaning my fridge, or I'm going to be deep cleaning my oven, or, whatever needs to be deep cleaned. So I really do love that because it makes it so much easier and I don't have to think about it all the time. So yeah, I really highly recommend using the Flylady system. Now, her website is actually really, really bad. Her system is not, though. So her system is great, website, not that much. So I actually created a PDF version of the Flylady method and have everything just written out in the zones and what you could or might want to clean. So if you want to have that PDF printable, I will actually link that down below. It's free. So yeah, zone cleaning has actually helped me to be a good steward of my home so much. So I highly, highly recommend doing it. Okay, it is almost time to actually start dinner. Now what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna empty out my dish rack and then I'm gonna start dinner. And in the meantime, the children are making a lot of noise outside. So if you hear them in the background, it's them. And what we're having for dinner tonight is pasta pesto. And what I love to add into it is chicken, zucchini, onion. I wanted to say eggs, no eggs, onion and all that. But one of my favorite things to do is actually pull the chicken out very late. So this is actually frozen. And I love it that way. I really, 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 really hate cutting chicken. I don't know why. It is just so disgusting to me to cut raw chicken. So what I usually do is I freeze it, and then about 30 minutes to an hour before I actually have to cut it, I take it out of the freezer. It depends on the weather outside. Obviously, right now it's warm, so in about 30 minutes, this is probably thawed enough for me to be able to cut it. And when it's frozen, it's not as disgusting as it is when it's actually raw. So if you hate cutting chicken like I do it frozen. That makes it a lot easier and it's a lot less disgusting. So that is what I'm gonna do. But first, let me clean that up and then I'm gonna cut all the veggies. And I think then the chicken will actually be ready. So let's get started and let's start cooking. So like I said, we are going to have pasta with pesto tonight, and this is one of our favorite dishes. And there's a few reasons for it. First of all, the children absolutely love this. My husband is crazy about pesto, so that is always a winner around here. But it's also extremely easy to make. It is a great weeknight dinner because it's just so easy, and it is very budget friendly. You can make it with chicken, which is what I'm going to do today, but you can also make it vegetarian and just leave the chicken out altogether. That is also delicious. I have done that a couple of times when we were a bit short on money and I just skipped the chicken altogether, and that actually works great too. It is such a delicious meal that you don't even notice it being gone. So that is perfect. But today I'm actually making it with chicken. So what I'm first going to do is I will cut up all the vegetables and the chicken and just make sure that that is done. And in the meantime, I will make sure the water is cooking so I can put the pasta in later. But today I'm adding in 1 onion, half a zucchini, and then 2 chicken breasts. And that is just because I only had 2 chicken breasts left in the freezer. So you can add in as many chicken breasts as you want. You can add in chicken thighs if you prefer that meat, but that is just what I love to add in. What is also really nice to add in here is some tomatoes, if you like tomatoes. I didn't do that today, but that is also really nice. So anyway, I'm going to cut up all the things, and then I put my chicken into the pan first, let that cook through, and then I will add in my onion. Make sure that that is sauteed so it has a nice glaze through it, so it is not that crispy. And then I will add in my zucchini and let that cook through a little bit more. Now, while I cook dinner, the children usually will set the table, and I love it because that is one way they can help me, and they love to do it, so that is great. So that is what they're doing, and then I can continue making my sauce. Now, the sauce that I use is, first of all, I use a jar of pesto. You can obviously make pesto yourself, but we really don't like the taste that much of homemade pesto. We prefer the jarred pesto, and on top of that, it is usually more expensive in my opinion because you have to buy parmesan, you have to buy pine nuts, and those are actually very expensive ingredients. So what I actually found is that buying just 1 jar and stretching that 1 jar is cheaper than making it myself. But if you prefer making it yourself, then obviously go right ahead. So that is what I use as a sauce, and I like to add a white sauce to it. Now, how I make that white sauce is extremely easy, but I do measure everything in grams. So I will actually put the measurements in the description box below. I will put the recipe in total down below. But what I do is I put the same amount of butter and flour into a pan. So if I use 20 grams of butter, I will add 20 grams of flour and 200 milliliters of milk. If I use, let's say, 50 grams of butter, I will use 50 grams of flour and 500 milliliters of milk. So it is 50, 50, 500 or 10, 10, 100. You get the drill. So that is what I do. Today I did 50. So I did about 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of flour, and then 500 milliliters of milk because I like having a creamy sauce, but you can make it as creamy as you like. And I've actually even tried it before with 2 jars of pesto and without the creamy sauce, but we just prefer having the creamy sauce in. So that is my pro tip for you. But that is extremely easy. But if you are going to make it with cups or with using cups as your measurement, it is not going to be the easy 10, 10, 100 equation, if that makes sense. Anyway, so that is what I add into it. And then I will make sure that the butter is melted. I add in my flour. I stir that up and turn it into a bit of a paste. And then I will add in my milk. Now that will be a very, very runny sauce, but you just keep stirring until it thickens up. And then when it's a thicker sauce, so when it's actually a sauce and not water or just regular milk, when it turns into a bit of a sauce, I will put it into the pan, and then your pesto sauce is basically done because your chicken is ready, your veggies are ready, and you added the sauce part. So that is basically it for the sauce. Now, obviously, you have to cook your pasta somewhere in this story. You have to make sure that you have your pasta cooked. And then you just throw it all into one pan, or you put it on your plate separately, whatever you prefer. And then what we love to add on top of our plate is a bit of Parmesan cheese. Now, that is very optional. If you are on a budget, I would totally skip the Parmesan. We have done that as well. So that is absolutely not necessary. It's just delicious. So if you want to, then you can totally add in the Parmesan. And then you're done. And then you can enjoy dinner. We love this recipe. And like I said, my children love this as well. So we always finish the entire amount, which is what happened today as well. And then after we have had our dinner, I will start the kitchen closing routine. And I actually did a video about that a while ago, which I will also link down below. But it basically just means that I will make sure that the kitchen table is clean, the kitchen is clean, the dishes are done, and everything is ready for me to start breakfast. And I just want to make sure that everything in the kitchen is clean and I can just start with a fresh, clean slate. So that is what I usually do. And after that, my evening starts, which usually consists of either sitting on the couch with my husband and just doing something fun. So maybe we watch a movie, we read a book, we talk, something like that. Or I work in the evening. And then that's it for today. That is basically what my day looks like. So I really hope that that was helpful to you, that you are going to try this recipe because it's actually really good. So I'm curious if you're going to try this. And yeah, I really hope that me talking about being a good steward has inspired you to be a good steward of your home and to really see it as that. And I would love to see you in my next video.